Good morning, coaches. This is your wake-up call. I'm Sandy Buadana, and today is Monday, June 27th. A little bit of funk to get us up in the morning and also get Facebook started. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm excited for today's call. I'm rounding out a month of coach legends, coaches that have been around over a decade, coaches who I'm learning from all the time. I'm just really humbled by watching them, work this business for so long and still sticking to such great fundamentals. So please stick around, tag your coaches for that. It's also a big day. Keyshawn has some great announcements and I got my tub and I love strawberry lemonade. Another flavor for me. I still love all the other flavors, but that one is pretty darn good. She's going to talk about that. Coach Summit, I know, is just around the corner. What is it? 17 days? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I don't want to get Keyshawn nervous because she's writing a gorgeous speech. So if you're going to go to Summit, you're going to see that. You're going to hear that. It's a lot is happening this month. We're rounding out June, but entering July. And I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing. It pays off. Keep building relationships with people. Keep helping people reach their goals. Anyone I'm talking to lately in my life, they're like, "Ugh, I've fallen off with my eating. Ugh, I've fallen off with my workouts." Like, there's never a time when there is nobody to help. Like, it is just always there. So I'm just keeping that in mind. I'm going to move the call over to recognition. Darren Ashby is traveling over to LA. He's getting everything ready for Summit. So I'm going to do the recognition for him. So here we go. Let me bring up the recognition slides for the week. All righty. Let's put it in the play mode. Hold on 1 second. All righty. I will get it back. Hold on. It's a good thing I have two computers here. There we go. Let's put it in full mode. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, coaches all around. We've got some new diamonds to announce, and that is Rachel De Loretto, Brian Heffron, Holly McEwen, Cassandra Paquet Breton, Lynn Silverman. And congratulations to our brand new 1 stars, Jillian Carruthers, Jacqueline Fernstadt, El Salis Guzman, Yesenia Perez, Jenny Sarantini, Myrna Taylor, Teresina White. Congratulations. We have 1 new 2-star for the week, and that is Mindy Little. Congratulations to Mindy. And we have a new 3-star diamond coach, Nicole Dennis. Congratulations. I think that is it for the recognition. It was really short and sweet, but still important just the same that all of those people have been working hard to develop others, to build those relationships, and to increase their rank, to move up in the rank. And we congratulate you for it. So now let's move on to some big announcements for the week. Keyshawn Graves is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, coaches. Congratulations to all of those coaches that we just recognized and their teams. We do not take it for granted the work that you are doing every single day to help people achieve their goals to live healthy, fulfilling lives. All right, we have some announcements for you, like Sandy has been alluding to. The first, you've heard it, y'all. This is the final week to earn that Help One More bonus. What is the Help One More bonus? Well, if you have never helped someone or you didn't enroll someone in the month of May, this bonus is all about helping 1 more person than you did in the month of May with the qualifying sale. A qualifying sale is anything that warrants 1 Success Club point. So that could be a total solution pack, which is 2 Success Club points, or it could be something on Home Direct, which is our subscription service. So it can be a nutritional, it can be a box of beach bars along with some of the other things like collagen or boost. There are many ways, and there's a document, there's an FAQ actually that gives you a very beautiful way that you can figure out how you can earn one Success Club point. But that's it. That is how you earn this bonus. Now, we understand the state of the economy. It is crazy, y'all. And so this is one of the things that we can control. We can't control inflation. We can't control the things that are happening around us. But one thing we can control is our willingness to help someone get started, especially one more than in May, and our ability to invite and follow up in order for us to earn this bonus. So the challenge is for you not only to earn your $25 bonus when you help one more, but then to begin to help your people. When you help 3 of your personally sponsored coaches help earn their bonus, help one person, then there's an additional bonus attached to that. There's $100. So there's an additional $125 within your reach, within your grasp that you can control. Y'all, don't leave money on the table this month. There's money to be had. That is within your control. The FAQ, Sandy just posted it, is FAQ 7655 if you want to understand more about what warrants a Success Club point. But go chase after it. Okay, the second Sandy mentioned is all about Energize. This is the #1 most requested flavor, meaning y'all spoke, you did the surveys, one of the several, and we listened. So our Beachbody Performance line now includes Strawberry Lemonade Energize, and it is available in the US and Canada. It's available in the US and Canada. The FAQ is FAQ 2836. And we have tubs available, sticks available. In Canada right now, the tubs are available. And then on July 18th, we're going to get you those sticks. We're going to make sure it makes it easier for you to be able to share it with other people. Again, this is one of those things when you pair it with some other things, it can be included for your Help One More bonus. All right. The third announcement that we have is all about Lift More. Who is excited for Lift More? I'm so excited for Lift More. We have been waiting for this program since Lift 4 came out, which you don't have to do Lift 4 to do Lift More, but Lift More is here. The FAQ is 3317, or it's coming. What is here though is the free sample workout. So the free sample workout is available in your back office in the product toolkit, which is available. And it's also available on the Beachbody On Demand tile. So make sure that you yourself try it and you spread the word. Speaking of the product toolkit, you can find the product toolkit in the coach office. So you'll log into your coach office. You're going to click on product tools. You're going to click on fitness. You're going to click on Lift More. And in addition to everything that lives there, in your coach breaking news section, there is a Frame.io link. And in that Frame.io link, it has a lot of the things that are included in the product toolkit, but we wanted to make it easier for you to be able to download and share. So there are multiple ways for you to access information so that you can prepare yourself and your team and your people for the launch of Lift More, which is happening on July 19th. We are doing a mega team call tonight on the Beachbody Champions page. It's live. So all you have to do is join the Team Beachbody Champions page on Facebook. And at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Joel, we have the creator of Lift More, y'all. Joel is going to be joining us, and he's going to share who he is. If you have been living under a rock and don't know who Joel is, and that's okay, we still love you, we don't judge you. He's also going to be talking about the program, what it is, who it's for, and why this is an amazing program for anyone, whether you are a cardio junkie or whether you are a hardcore lifter. He's going to explain why this program is great for everyone. So you'll want to make sure you join us tonight live on the Beachbody Champions page. Bring your questions, have groups of people at your house, like watch this together, get as many people together as possible to watch this mega team call with Joel. We're going to then, coming out of Summit, have what we call our takeover week, which is essentially a training week where you get to hear from some of the top coaches. You get to hear from people who were in the test group. You get to hear from people who were in the podcast, because Lift More has an incredible podcast, what up? And you're going to be able to hear from them. And it's going to start July 18th and it goes through the 22nd of July. So make sure that you are a part of that. If you are focused, because we want you to stay focused on something else and you're not quite ready to start focusing on learning about Lift More, that's okay. We want you to do what you need to do in order for you to reach your goals. We're not telling you to steer. We're not telling you to chase after shiny objects. We're going to include everything that happens today as well as during that takeover week in a guide. So when you're ready, you can access the guides, which is at the very top of the page in the Champions page. Click on guides. It's going to be in guide 20. That's where everything Lift More will live. Okay. And last thing about Lift More before I move on, total solution pack purchasers and first time sellers in June and July. So starting now, next month also, we'll get 50% off the Lift More digital streaming. And the FAQ for that is FAQ 2665. Whew, okay. Last announcement that I have. This is the final chance to get someone started with a total solution pack for $20 off. Incredible, insane value using your personalized promo code in June. We have a few more days. The FAQ is FAQ 8423. And remember, your promo code is your first name, June 20. Everyone should have a promo code. If you don't have a promo code, use your upline's promo code. But if you have someone who is on the fence or someone whose bot is set to renew, or you have someone who is giving you a price objection, this is one of those things that you can help them understand the value, help them get started with this $20 off by using your personalized promo code. And then we know that Fire and Flow is available. We launched it. It's going crazy. We're seeing people get really, really great holistic, like mind, body, soul results. And we know that that is also $20 off right now for the total solution packs. Okay, those are all the announcements. We have some really cool stuff happening, some things that you can lean into and leverage. And like Sandy said, we're just a few weeks away from Summit. So I can't wait to see you at Summit. We have some more announcements happening there, but I'm going to end it like this because we have a very special guest on with us. So I'm going to end it like this. This is your personal invitation to get started, to lean into those things that I just shared, to go after relentlessly that bonus that you can control, not leaving any money on the table this month. Get started, or to go all in, or to get back up. Maybe you haven't been your lifetime rank in a long time and you qualify for this bonus. Don't let ego take you away from earning that help one more bonus. And then lastly, this is your personal invitation to not only do those things yourself, but to help someone else get started doing the same thing in the same way. That's how we perpetuate what we're trying to do. That's how we perpetuate the idea that our mission, our goal is to help people achieve their goals to live healthy, fulfilling lives. We have the tools, we have the resources, and I know you can do it. So I'm just here to remind you, to invite you to go freaking after it. Y'all, that's all I got. Have an incredible week intentionally on purpose. I'm going to pass the time back over to my girl, Sandy.
Thank you so much. You know, a little bit of trivia, everybody. Do you know what the wake-up call was called before it was called the wake-up call? It was called the National Coach Call. And Carl felt as though everybody needed a wake-up call. Okay, so Monday, I know on the East Coast, it's a lot later, but for me, it's early. But that was a wake-up call. These are the things this week to focus on. That is what Keyshawn does, is she brings you up to date with what is happening right now. Little bit of hope for the future of what is to come, but it's what you can do right now. That is why it's called the wake-up call. Get up and start helping people. So I have the unique honor of working with this coach. And let me just say that of all the coaches in the entire network, every single Monday when I do the wake-up call, this girl is cheering other people on. She is straightening crowns. She is supporting people. She is clapping for them, rooting for them. And I love that about her, how humble she is. And she has been coaching for over 14 years. I think this month was 14-year anniversary. Yep. She's telling me backstage. 14-year anniversary this month. She's an 11-time elite coach, 11 times. And she's been in the top 10 3 times. She's always up there in like the top 10, top 11, 12, 141 months in Success Club. She just keeps doing this business the same way, relating to people, helping people, being humble about the business. I just absolutely love our featured speaker. I also want to talk about her team is called Bliss Fit Squad. She's from Sylvania, Ohio. You guys give it up for Jenelle Summers. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Let me bring her in. Keyshawn and I love these buttons that we push here. Jenelle, I hope I did it justice because you are such a great cheerleader for the whole network.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I love the National Wake Up Call. I think all coaches should be on it every single week. I have an alarm that goes off on my phone every week to get on the National Wake Up Call. If I happen to miss it, which doesn't happen very often, I watch it the next day. I don't care how new a coach is. The people that are attracted to this business, they seem to be they have something about them and they're intelligent. And I learn something every week. So I love it. I'm a huge fan.
And I did not pay Jenelle to say that. So thank you very much. I always see you every single Monday. And I love when people, tag their coaches to get on because live is live, You may not get to the recording later on today, or you may not get to it on podcast, but you are here live. I'm so grateful. Why don't you take us back, how you got started, and then just go right into what you're talking about today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So you guys, I just have to say, with everything that Sandy just said, while I appreciate, that introduction and those accolades like that is my team. And that is this business. I mean, this business is a gift and we are given so many tools and resources to take this in the direction that we want to take it. So I just want to thank my team and Beachbody for putting us in this position. So when I first heard about this business, this was 14 years ago, I was working a lot of hours. I was working about 60 hours a week, if not more. I was working my full-time job, plus being a mom, plus being a wife. But on top of my full-time job and all of that, life responsibilities, I was also teaching fitness classes on the side, early mornings, 6 a.m. classes, and in the evenings after work. And then, as if I had any spare time, I was also on the weekends helping a local gym manage their group fitness department. So like I said, at least 60 hours a week that I was working. And so when this came about, I thought, I don't have any time for this. I'm an introvert. I'm shy. And by the way, I'm still an introvert. I don't have a Beachbody transformation story. I have zero time in my life to start a business. I wasn't on social media. A lot of people newer in the business think, oh, they're successful because they have all these followers. No, I wasn't even on social media. I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on Facebook. So I really looked at this and I thought, okay, I'm like the worst possible person to do this. However, there was just that little seed of interest within me because I was like, this is health, this is fitness, this is wellness, this is all the things that I truly believe in. It's about empowering other people. It was all these things that I actually wanted to be my life. And my life at that time was not those things. Okay. I was spinning my wheels, running the hamster, like a hamster on a hamster wheel. And I really could not put my own priorities. Like if you ask me my priorities, I could not live like those were my priorities because of work. I just couldn't. So that seed of interest started to grow. And I looked into the business further and I realized I need to go all in on this. This is what I believe in, and this is what I want for my life. I want to be more present for my son. I want to be a work from home mom. I want to be able to drop everything and go to my son's school. I want to be that mom. I want to be that person that can have the time to work out and have the time to, make healthy meals. I wanted more time and choices. That's how I saw the business. I didn't see it as, making a whole bunch of money or recognition or any of those things. I wanted more balance in my life. And I really felt that this business was what could give me those things. And I didn't know how long it would take and I didn't care. All I knew is that I believed in it. And I knew somewhere deep down, and you have to have this little fire, I thought, if other people can do this, and I could see other successful coaches were doing it, I was like, it's figure outable. I can figure this out. And so it was just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other. So with that, I'm going to go into 5 things that I think are not in addition to the vital behaviors, but they're the 5 things that kind of get lost in the shuffle, but they bring the vital behaviors alive, in my opinion. But before I go into that, you guys, I want to tell you just a quick story, something that happened on Friday. So I'm a part of this message thread with other leaders. And we're always in there brainstorming and, supporting each other and troubleshooting things. And there's a couple corporate members in there as well, but we kind of ignore them. We do our own thing. And so anyways, I had put in there, because I'm always taught, like, don't complain, like, come to the table with solutions. Don't complain, just come to the table with solutions. My dad always taught me that. And so I kind of put together a list of like, okay, this is what I think like we could do, to handle some of these issues or whatever, and always looking to make the network better. And as well as that's what our coach advisory board does. So I made this wish list. Okay. And this wish list got in the hands of Carl Deichler, our CEO, somehow. I was not expecting that at all. I think I would have put a lot more time into that wish list had I thought he was going to read it. Anyway, on Friday, all of a sudden I get a text saying, can I give you a call? This is Carl Deichler. I'm like, what? Carl wants to call me? Like, guys, this does not happen. Like, I do not have a texting relationship with Carl or a phone relationship. I was shocked that I got this text. So naturally, I was like, sure, you can call me. And so anyways, he on the call goes through that wish list, and this is why we do this way. And let me just say this, like, half the things that you think, well, I wish Beachbody would do this, or I wish in the network we had this, there's a reason behind everything, and it makes a lot of sense. So he kind of was explaining things and going through things, and then he said, but Jenelle, I've got to tell you this. I have been working on this new wave of innovation and simplification and rejuvenation that's going to hit the network and make everyone's head spin. Like, it's going to be mind-blowing. So he's telling me this, and I'm like, was not expecting this. He's like, I've been working on this since the beginning of the year. I've been working my freaking butt off, and I'm so incredibly excited. Like, he was just exploding through the phone. And he's like, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be scalable. And he wasn't talking about like a new product launch or, something like that. He was talking about a wave of innovation and simplification, and something that all coaches are going to be able to do and leverage. And even someone new coming in that's got no experience in this business. Anyway, he was just like super, super pumped about it. I still don't know like what it is, so I don't have any details. But I was like, can I mention this on the National Wake Up Call? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and mention it. He's like, I'm going to talk more about it at Summit. So you better believe I'm going to be like on the edge of my seat at Summit. He's going to talk even more about it at the super weekend following Summit in the fall. And then at Leadership, he's going to go off. Like, that's going to be like the full reveal of this wave, which apparently is going to take like full stride in 2023. So if that doesn't get you pumped and get you excited about our future, in addition to all the things that we have coming, I don't know what will. Okay, so that said, I want to go into these 5 things that are really overlooked, but bring the vital behaviors alive. The first thing is time management. And really, I want to call this focus management. It's been said before that our greatest asset in business is our ability to focus and simplify. Write that down. Our ability to focus and simplify. And nothing could be further from the truth. And I am one of those people. I'm very, very easily distracted. I'm self-diagnosed ADHD. I need focus and simplification. And so having time management skills is something that I have really had to develop. And I'm still not perfect by any means, But there's certain things that I have done, especially that I had to do when I was new in the business and I was working all those hours. So, when I was in that situation, new in the business, working so many hours, and all of a sudden in my free time, I'm starting a business. Crazy. How did I do this? If someone would have said, Jenelle, you just need to work harder. You need to fit in more into those 24-hour days. You need to fit in more. No way. Couldn't have done it. Even if someone said, you're now going to have to do an extra load of laundry every day, I would have been like, nope, cannot do it. I could not fit one more thing in my day. I realized, and I learned this back in my days in human resources management, when a VP that started, and she said, we need to not do more. We need to do less, better. And I thought, that's what needs to happen in this situation. I need to do less, better. I need to take a full look at my life and everything I was doing and saying, what can I take off my plate? And yes, it's going to mean some sacrifices. What can I take off my plate so that I can fit this business into pockets of time? Because I may not have the time to afford this business, but I can't afford not to fit it in. I cannot afford to let this business pass me by. So I need to treat it like a business. Like I've invested $100,000 and started my own gym, right? That's how I need to treat it. So I took a look at my life and I said, what can I take off my plate so that I can fit in just these little pockets of time, these little time blocks? No, I couldn't quit my full-time job. Couldn't do that. Actually, I did quit that weekend gig. So I took money away from us as a household to fit in time for this business, because I knew that weekend thing was not going to get me where I wanted to be in my life. This was. I looked at other things I was doing in my day. What else could I take off my plate? I stopped teaching so many classes. Because even though I love teaching, that wasn't going to get me where I wanted to be. And so one of the things that you need to do is take a full assessment of your life and everything you're doing and ask yourself, what are the things that you want to keep on there, the things that you have to keep on there, and the things that you want to keep on there because they bring you joy. Like you just love these things, right? It's time with your family. It's something you do special with the family. It's something you do for yourself. Like, don't take those things off, okay? You might want to get a big desk calendar and calendar everything out. Everything that you do for work, then everything that you get to do for your family and need to do for your family, calendar all of that in. Everything that you want to do with your spouse, with your kids. Like I used to calendar in going to Tyler's school and having lunch with him. Calendar those things in. And then calendar in your business. When does your next group start? When do you really start the heavy invites? When are you doing all your, what I call follow-up blasts, where you're just sitting down for 45 minutes or whatever, just following up with people? Like all of that calendared in. When are you getting on the national wake-up call? When are you going to listen to the recording? Like I said, I have these calendars. I don't have the big desk calendar. I have 4 months on my wall. It's like part of my decor, so that the whole family can see everything that's going on, right? Plus I have alarms going off in my phone, right? Just so that I can stay on track and stay focused. And I actually really, speaking of focus, I really use that focus. If you have an iPhone, I think it's the newer ones where there's this focus feature, and you can silence the other texts and things and notifications that are coming through so that you can stay focused. So you really want to make sure that you've calendared out your time. The other thing is that you have habit stacked your routines. So I did this then, and I still do this now. I have my, certain routine of things that I do every day, and I make sure that my beach body activities are attached to where they can be attached. So for example, every morning I'm, getting ready for my workout, getting ready for my day, and I'm listening to personal development or a training, a beach body training, a coach training, something that's going to further me in my personal development or my business development. Every single morning as I'm getting ready. It might just be 15 minutes, might be half an hour or whatever. Then I'm going into my workout. So I've got my pre-workout. So I might take a picture of my pre-workout. So taking pictures, and even while I was listening to my personal development, I might take a screenshot of my personal development and post that to my stories. So it's having this routine, whatever it is that works for you, and figuring out how you can share that on your social media, but having that routine help you along in your business. So I do my workout and I film my workout. And so I may use just like a 5, 10 or 15-second clip of that workout, or maybe just take a picture after the workout, or maybe even just take a picture of all the weights I use during the workout. There's always going to be some pictures or videos that I can grab from that workout that I can share on my stories and also share with my group. So having those routines stacked so that you're not having to feel like, you have to set aside time to, do all of these separate things in your business, that they work along with what your actual daily routine is. The other thing I just wanted to mention is that you're going to have some days that you consider are massive action days, where you just get more done for the business than you do on other days. And that's okay. That's okay. I have certain days where I get a lot done for my business. Certain days of the week are really strong business days where I get a lot done. And then there are other days where it's very much family oriented, or me and Matt and I are like going to Target or whatever. Like those days are, that you need to have that balance in your life, right? So realize and determine what days are going to be your massive action days. Maybe the days that you're going to do the majority of your invites, the days that you're going to do batch produce, reels, or batch produce pictures, or whatever it may be. Okay. Figure out what your routine is going to be. Run this like a business. And in any business, you would see that. You would see that there is a plan and a strategy. Okay. And then the other thing with time management and focus, it's the scrolling is out of hand. The scrolling is out of hand for so many people. Not for you, maybe, but for so many people, scrolling is out of hand. Like Instagram has us pulled in. TikTok, I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I just think, it's my belief, that the more we scroll, as scrolling time goes up, self-esteem and creativity goes down. Am I right? The more we scroll, the more it gets into our heads of what that person has, what they're like, what we couldn't possibly do what they're doing. Like it constantly just chips away at our own creativity and our own confidence most of the time. It can be inspiring. It can be super inspiring. And there's a time and place to go to social media to get inspiration, to get ideas, but it has to be very intentional. Like, I'm going to spend 15 minutes going through reels and looking at some of these, ideas, or some of these, audios or whatever. There has to be a specific time and place for it. You can't just, every time you pick up your phone, allow yourself to scroll. I've always, and my team knows this from years ago, I've always said, do not scroll. My habit is, when I get on my phone and I see what pops up, let's say on Instagram, if it's one of my coaches, then I will right away, cheer them on, pump them up, give them a comment or whatever. Other than that, I'm not scrolling. I'm on Instagram to get my work done. Okay. So everything that you're doing, you have to look at it. Is this something that is growing my business? And so after you've calendared everything out and you've put notifications on your phone and everything, you then have to create these to-do lists. Okay. And you have to look at the to-do list, and each day make sure that you're doing first those things that you fear. We call them sometimes income producing activities. If you listen to someone like Bob Heilig, he'll say, actually, they are growth oriented activities. Okay. These are the things that when you're doing them over time, they will grow your business. Okay. So a couple things that I think are not a great use of your time: the ongoing free groups. I'm all about free groups, 3 to 5 days, but not ongoing. they've not bought anything. They have no skin in the game. They're not using any of our products or programs, and you are just ongoing forever helping a whole bunch of people. That is so, so generous of you, but your time is not free. Just ask the rest of your family. Your time is not free. Your time has value. Okay. So I personally, to my coaches, I do not recommend ongoing free groups where they have nothing. They're not a customer at all. They have no skin in the game. Not only is it not a good use of your time, it's not a good use of their time, because they're expecting results having changed nothing. Having changed nothing, now they're expecting results. They're expecting some magic. Okay, so let me move on to the second thing, and that is inviting people to coach, inviting people to be a coach. You guys, we do two things in our business, two main things. And if everything gets complicated and confusing, bring it back to these two things that we do. We help people live healthy and fulfilling lives, and we help people start a business that focuses on that, living healthy and fulfilling lives. Okay, we do both of those two things. Some are avoiding that second thing. They're avoiding building a team. They're avoiding bringing coaches on. And maybe that's you. Maybe it's not, but maybe it is you. There are a lot of coaches I see that are just bringing on preferred customers. And while preferred customers are great, I'm glad that we have preferred customers. It's an opportunity for someone to get a discount on our products and programs, yet they don't want a coach. It makes absolute sense that we have that category. But to be a coach that is focused only on that, you are missing half the business. So I hope that you don't have the expectations for this business that you're going to fully build it and leverage it when you're missing half of it. And in my opinion, it's like the most beautiful thing. We are helping other people pay it forward. We're helping them build a business, potentially earn an income, support their family, whatever it is their goals are, depending on how hard they work. We are helping them do that through inspiring other people, supporting other people, and giving other people accountability. It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a gift. And if you don't have that belief, then you will hold yourself back in bringing coaches on board. If you have some type of belief that you have to have success first before you can start bringing other people into this business, you're missing the boat. I started bringing coaches in, and trust me, I did a lot of things wrong when I started this business, a lot of things. I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't regret those mistakes, because each one of those mistakes taught me a lot of things. One thing I did understand, because I was told that you bring people to also coach with you. And that's what I did from day one. Now, did they all last? No, but some did. I love the common saying, hopefully you know it, some will, some won't. So what? Next. Doesn't mean we don't care about those people that decide not to. We still care about them. We still love them. But some people are gonna want to do this, and some people aren't. In fact, most people aren't, right? It's not going to be everyone that's going to want to pay it forward and have this lifestyle and empower other people to have it. Okay. So please invite people to coach. If you are bringing a lot of preferred customers, have a system where you are constantly, repetitively exposing them and empowering them to work this business, to become a coach, to pay it forward. Here they are getting results. What a gift if they were to coach and help their friends and family, their following, people that you don't know and never will know. Through you, that whole message of health and fitness is going to spread through them. Okay. So when you're talking to someone about coaching, it's not about them doing you a favor, signing up as a coach. No, this is a gift for them. This is a gift for them, a much bigger gift than them just getting a discount on the products and programs. So have a system in place. If you are bringing on preferred customers, cool, but have some type of system in place where you are repetitively exposing them to what this business is and empowering them to look into it and to do it and go for it. You have to post about the business more often, and they aren't going to be the popular posts, right? Anytime I post about the business, and you have to put a call to action, right? You got to tell them, comment below with whatever. You have to have a call to action. They have to know that if they're interested, even remotely, that they can comment or whatever, and you will send them some information and talk to them one-on-one to see if they're a good fit. But you have to post about it more, and it's not going to be the most popular posts. My fitness posts and my business posts are not my most popular posts. And I've been in fitness for a long time, but they're still not my most popular posts, okay? Doesn't mean we don't do them. Because even those posts that by all other gauges you'd say bombed, brought me some of the most amazing people and coaches to our team. So do not hold yourself back just because it's not going to be the post that gets all the likes and all the traction. Lastly, I want to say about inviting people to coach. The number one way to invite people to coach is one-to-one. I remember when I was newer in the business and I went to this conference, and he's this guru, and I thought I'm just going to ask him like this one question of like how I have like this group of people I think would be good. It's like 5 that I think would make really good coaches. Do I like bring them to a meeting? Do I like take them and meet at a coffee shop or whatever? So I asked that question. He was like, no, absolutely not. You talk to each one of them individually. You learn what their pain points are. You learn first why this business would solve a problem for them. And you talk to them about that. And you let them know how this business can help them solve that problem. If you're talking to all 5 of them at once, the value to each one of them just goes down because you're talking to all of them, and none of them individually feels like they're being heard. Inside, they're going, yeah, but my situation's different. Right? So one-to-one. So in the DMs, voice memo when you can. Maybe you do it over a phone call. Maybe you do it over a Zoom. But make sure it's one-to-one where you do that invite. Number 3 I want to talk about is list building. List building. So this is already a part of the vital behaviors in a way, but I want to break it down a little bit differently than maybe you've heard it before. So one of the common complaints I hear from coaches is that they run out of people to invite. They're like, yeah, I know I'm supposed to invite, but like who? The same people are watching my stories. The same people are engaging on my posts. I'm out. Like, I don't have anyone else to invite. And I get that. But here's where I think the problem lies. It's the legwork that goes behind or before that precedes the invite is list building, interest lists. Okay. So I have since I started my business been doing this. I was taught by my sister. She's an entrepreneur, and she was like, you've got to create lists. I heard the phrase, if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. And it's so incredibly true. So at the time when I started, I didn't have any apps or anything like that. I literally just on an Excel spreadsheet kept lists of people. And you can do it on an Excel spreadsheet. You can do it on a notebook. You can do it on the memo pad on your phone memo. It doesn't matter how you do it. Okay. It doesn't have to be fancy, but keeping lists of names and email addresses. And now that Instagram is maybe one of the places you work your business, their Instagram name. Okay. Keeping lists. So it's a list of people that are interested in lifting. It's a list of people who are interested in losing weight. It's a list of people who are interested in gut health. It's a list of people who are interested in earning another stream of income. It's a list of people. You get what I'm saying? It's a list of people who struggle with cravings. There's so many. I have so many different lists, and now, yes, I do use a CRM, which stands for a customer relations management system. I use Constant Contact. Some people there's all different ones out there, but you don't have to do that yet, you guys. You don't have to get fancy yet. I didn't start using anything fancy until I had a need to, until you have certain number of contacts where you're just like, this is getting out of control. I need to find some kind of like app to track it all. But like I said, I started off just having it on an Excel spreadsheet. You can also just have it on your notebook, their name, their email address, and their Instagram name. And so every time you have a new product launch, I mean, how many times have we had something where the program really focused on lifting? How great would it be if twice a week, every week since last year, you had done some type of poll on Instagram stories about lifting. And through that poll, you collected their name and their email address and their Instagram name and talked to them about lifting and their pain points and why they don't know what to do or what their issue is and why they want to lift more. And now with Lift More, you've got this huge list of people that you can genuinely talk to. And I say genuinely because you're not throwing information at them that they don't want to hear. You're talking to them about a solution to a problem that they have mentioned before. It makes so much more sense and it's so much easier to invite. Now, once you've been in the business longer and you do have, something like Constant Contact or maybe use MailChimp or whatever it is that you use, you can send emails to these people and build that relationship a little bit more. So if it's an email list about people I know that are interested in gut health, I can send a quick email that says, hey, I came across this podcast. I think it's amazing. I think you might be interested in hearing it too. It's just another one of those things that builds trust and connectivity. Okay, so having those lists. The other thing is a lot of times we do polls on Instagram, and one thing that I've liked doing is putting the question sticker and saying, drop your email below for more information. Because the other thing that's nice about that question sticker is you can always go back and see the people that dropped their email address for that. If you don't know how to do that, just ask me. So anyways, let's see. I'm looking at my notes to make sure I don't miss anything. So basically with list building, I think what that does not only make the invite that much more genuine and authentic and easier to do because you've been serving this person and you know what their interests are, and you might have them on multiple lists even. But it also really drives home the fact that in this business, you don't need a big following. You don't. I cannot tell you how many times I hear from coaches, I don't have a following. I don't have a big following. And they're really working hard on their reels because they think if they can just get those viral reels or those viral posts or whatever that, and if they can just stand out enough and build a following, that their business is going to take off, when you don't need that. Thankfully, you don't need that. What you need are quality connections. Maybe all those things really are needed if all you did was sell. If you are just selling product and nothing else, and you're not supporting people and you don't care how successful they become and you just need to sell product, then maybe those strategies of just going viral, maybe that works. But that's not what we do. We build relationships, and the people that stay with us longer as customers, the people that join us as coaches and work with us and succeed with us, those are people that we have that connection with. And when you're doing this list building and you're actually serving people better, you're much more likely to have that connectivity. Okay, so moving on to building trust. Number 4, building the trust factor. This is absolutely huge. We already know, as I kind of alluded to just now, that people who join us are the people who trust us, okay? You're not going to think about you in your own life. You're not going to join someone and invest your time, your incredibly valuable, precious time, if it's someone you don't trust. It has to be someone you trust. So how do you build that trust? It's just as important as the inviting, as the expanding your network. It's just as important, especially in our business, because you guys, fitness and health is very personal and confidential to people. There are a lot of other network marketing businesses where they maybe do something similar, in terms of like a comp plan is similar or whatever. But what we do, people's health, their fitness, their mental wellness, all of these things are very personal and confidential. And so if you're wanting them to join your group or join you as a coach, they have to trust you. And so the things that build that trust are your posts. So your posts are not out there to sell. Your posts are out there to build that trust, because that is really going to help bringing on people that want to work the business, that trust that what you're teaching them actually will work. But one of the things that does that is showing up consistently on social media. Now, you're not going to die if you have, a day or two that you don't post. You'll see on my social media, I don't post on my feed every single day, right? You have to figure out what's going to work for you and give yourself space to not be perfect. It's just like the 80-20 rule in nutrition. Like, don't expect it to be perfect, right? Because then you're just going to set yourself up for defeat. But having a consistent post, on your feed and also in your stories. So that's why I said I work it in my daily routine that, in the morning I'm listening to personal development. I might take a screenshot of what I was listening to on my phone. We'll take a quick picture or video of my workout. All these things, when you're inviting someone, they look back on those things and the invite makes sense to them because you practice what you preach, right? And it's not just about, building that trust is not just about, checking off these boxes, but it's also about just being honest. Maybe you don't love this program or that program and you actually prefer this, or you don't love this supplement or whatever. Just being completely honest builds huge trust with people. The other thing is, what really builds trust is asking questions. When you come to people in your DMs or wherever you're talking to people with information and you're kind of word vomiting, people kind of go like this. They think, whoa, she's got an agenda. She's trying to sell me something. I don't even need that. I never said I needed that. Like, where is this coming from? That's what's happening on the other end. And believe me, we've all done it. I've done it too. But what really you have to do is let them do the talking. You ask questions. You are acting like a consultant, asking them questions. So you're really understanding what their needs and wants are. What you think they need might not be what they want. And you have to make sure that they feel heard. So one habit I have in my DMs with people is I reiterate what they've said. I simply, instead of me trying to put it in my own words or try and make it work into what I want them to do, I reiterate what they've said. Since you have said you hate lifting, I'll actually reiterate their words to make sure they know I hear you. I understand what you want. That goes over huge with people and building trust. It's just validating their feelings. Okay. I think that was it for building trust factor. So the next thing is follow-ups, and then I'm almost done. Okay, so follow-ups. Follow-ups are already a part of the vital behaviors. We know this, right? But I feel like it's not emphasized enough. It could never be emphasized enough because we all know people do not join or buy from that first initial invite. Very rarely, very, very, very rarely. I certainly didn't. And look at me now in this business. I mean, I've been all in, but when I first heard of it, I was like, no, are you kidding me? Me do that? No, I'm an introvert. I went through all the things. Wrong person, you've got the wrong girl, right? That's how a lot of people are going to feel, when you're talking to them. And so you have to understand there's all these layers of the onion that you have to peel back, and that takes time. So the thing I want to talk to you about with follow-ups is that there are different types of follow-ups, right? There's the type of follow-up where, the person asked for information, and then you went to message them and they didn't reply. They ghosted you per se. Well, they were probably busy, right? But all you need to do with that type of a follow-up is just restart conversation. What had you talked about in the past? Remove the agenda about, your group or coaching or whatever it may be. Remove those agendas. Get back to this person and what's important to them. Go back to talking about, what were you talking about? Dogs, kids, go back there. Okay. Restart conversation. Okay. Get back on their radar. Let them know that you are not just there to, get them to use a product or whatever, that you are really there to help, and you are there to be a friend and to connect, and that you actually care what's going on in their life. Okay. So that's with being ghosted. The next is touch points. So this is a really big one to me because I know the statistic that 80% of sales took place after at least 5 to 7 follow-ups / touch points. Okay. 80% took 5 to 7. That's the statistic I've heard. And so I really think it's true. When I look at anybody that's joined me, there's always been all these back and forth things, and it's not always about the business. They're what I call touch points. So it might be just, I'm asking them, hey, by the way, how was your son's surgery? How did it go? Me watching their stories, so I have, when I'm, I have my certain people that I'm talking to about coaching or whatever. I know that, I've got the notification on Instagram, when they've posted. So I know if they put something on their story, so I can engage on that. So again, you can't have touch points or follow-ups or restart conversations if you don't have a list. So it kind of goes back to, you have to track everyone that you've ever planted that seed with or you've gotten on a list. Okay. So everyone that I have on a list, I have them flagged in my DMs. Okay. There's a way to flag your DMs. If you didn't know that, if you have a business or creator account, you can flag your DMs. And so anytime I have ever collected an email address, I've got them on a list, I've planted the seed with them about coaching or one of my groups or whatever, I've flagged their DMs. So I can sort my DMs by flagged, and I can just sit down for an hour, half an hour, and just do touch points with all these people that are flagged. See what's going on in their life. See how they're doing. It may have nothing to do with health and fitness, but just being someone that connects with them. So the different types of follow-ups, the ghosted, the touch points, and then there's those people that are the not right nows, and those are going to happen as well. But again, making sure that you've collected their name and email address and you have them on a list and that you can continue to serve them. Because even though they're not right now, they had that little bit of interest initially for a reason. So they probably do have a pain point, right? And so now it's your chance to just build that trust and continue to serve them until they are ready to commit, right? So with the follow-ups, the main thing that I want to say with that is that it is incredibly important that you track. You cannot have effective follow-ups if you are not tracking who it is that you've planted the seeds with and who it is that you've added to lists, okay? So with that, I think that's it, Sandy.
I am just amazed. I mean, I am taking notes myself because what you're talking about, Jenelle, I mean, we have vital behaviors, right? And you said this is like deeper. This is, if you're going to run a business, there are activities that are overlooked, which is what you wanted to talk about today. And I love that you're talking about this because it sounds so simple, but if people aren't doing them, then they're not going to see movement. And you're saying, do these activities and you will see the needle moving, or you can see the needle moving. So I really love that. A lot of questions about how you calendar and, your lists and your follow-up. And I'm just so appreciative because it's a call that I think people should go back and listen to. What do you think over the last 14 years, you've flexed a lot of muscles, as a coach, you've worn a lot of hats. And where do you think your superpowers are?
I would say it's not a superpower. I would say that, it's perseverance. And I would say that's not a superpower because I think that's something that exists within all of us. And it's just a matter of bringing that out and really lighting that fire. It's something that we all have within us, and it's just a fire that has to be lit. And that perseverance, really what that boils down to is knowing that, there are going to be people that are going to quit. There are going to be people who you love who don't support you. There are going to be posts that completely bomb. There are going to be, weeks or months where you just feel like you're off. There are going to be tragedies that happen within your life. Like all these things are going to happen. And we just have to figure out a way to navigate it. And I think that my greatest strength, and again, I think it's within all of us somewhere, is just realizing that it is all figure outable and to stop expecting perfection and to just put one foot in front of the other and get through it. And we're going to become better parents, better, a better person because we've learned how to navigate stressful situations and differing personalities and just obstacles that come up in our lives. It's just having that perseverance to not quit, to not give up, and to see it through.
I love that. I love the not quit thing. Some people on Facebook were saying, gosh, I almost left this call, but I stayed on and I'm so glad I did. And there's many times when you just like leave a room, a speaker is speaking and you're like, not for me. Just before the moment you get the light bulb,
Right.
you get the enlightenment. And I think that everybody gets their light bulb moment at different times. But it's the perseverance that keeps you kind of grounded and open-minded to receive, this. That's why I love that you're on the wake-up call every single Monday, because this business inside and out. You've made your mistakes, but you still know that every single Monday you're going to learn something new.
And I always do. Yep, every time.
And I'm pretty sure that everybody learned a lot today because people are frantically writing and you had a lot of great notes. So I am going to just thank you again. This Coach Legend series was for a reason, that no matter how many years you're in this business, that the time in the business, the wisdom comes from persevering through the challenges, through the mistakes. And you said you're a self-proclaimed introvert.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that hasn't changed. You still work on building relationships with people, even though it's not it's not easy for you at times.
Yeah.
So thank you again. This was really helpful to the network, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I was so honored to be on here this morning. Thank you so much, Sandy, and everyone who listened in. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Stick around. We'll talk after. All right, you guys, that was the wake-up call for today. I hope that you got something out of it that makes you feel like it's not dismal. There's hope that building small, building simple, and getting better at doing everything that you're doing. That is what the vital behaviors are. Where's my vital behaviors? But just the constant personal growth. Gosh, I love what I do, and I'm really excited for the 4 speakers that we had this month. And go back and listen to it. And hey, I'll see you at Summit pretty soon, but I'll see you next week on the Wake Up Call. Bye-bye.